before I got into high school, I didn't even know that people were smoking. I didn't know that was something that people were doing.
Everybody knows when I'm in the zone, you can make me lose my focus. I am who I am, and I am proud of it. Oh, I am true to myself. Yes, I keep moving and I don't stop, don't stop. Say yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Off the Clock with Sky Season 3. We're turning 10 this year. You know, it's gonna be bigger, better, all the vibes. You know what I'm talking about. Aring, poo, 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 poo. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My name is Shati. If you didn't know, now you do. And today, I'm joined by 3 beautiful guests. Goodness, guys, I'm actually shaking from all this beauty. I'm a little scared. I'm gonna ask them to introduce themselves before we dive into this awesome episode today. I'm gonna start with Faithy over there.
Hi guys, I'm Coco Faye. Some people might know me as Faith, and I am a Sky big sister. I love everything Sky, and I'm just happy to be here.
Sweet. Yeah. Next, let's go.
Hi everyone, my name is Taune, aka Sparkle. I'm a corporate baddie and I love dancing and everything that makes me smile. I'm happy to be here too.
We're happy to have you as well.
Hey guys, I'm Timiso. I'm a content creator on TikTok. I love painting. I love the arts. I love drama, and I'm grateful to be here.
Happy to have you. Before we start on this episode, I wanted to ask you guys about your 3 shows and your 3 chapos. Like, what do you use to define the choices that you make? Because my 3 shows, Kishoka happiness, Kishoka good vibes, and Kishoka ambition, Kishapoka smoking, Kishapoka negativity, and Kishapoka peer pressure.
Okay. I'll start with my 3 shows. Kishoka Jesus.
Amen.
Kishoka success. Kishoka being there for the people that I love and care about. Kishapoka negativity as well. Kishapoka smoking. Kishapoka not believing in myself.
Amen.
You know you're in the right place when like your shows and chapels align with the people.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Gesho definitely got good mental health, being healthy, you know. Gesho got confidence and great friendships that build you. Get definitely show chapo actually got smoking. Geshapo ka bad vibes. Yo guys, I can't do bad vibe. You will not find me there. My last chapo is Geshapo ka batho hera. I get to 9 places where I don't feel good.
Yeah. Negative energy.
Kishoka joy.
Yes.
First and foremost, Kishoka my peace. Can I do 4? Sorry. Kishoka God, you know, and Kishoka friendship. For real. I feel like friends are people you have to hold close to you. Kishapoka smoking. Kishapoka no confidence, you know, just not having self-esteem. And Kishapoka bad people, and like I'm good on that. I'm fine, thank you.
I feel like a lot of people don't actually know why we say Shokayana and Shapokayana, but it stands for SKY. That's why we're Sky Girls. It's essentially the whole thing that we stand for, being able to define your choices, what you believe in, your values, and things like that. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, how do you go about defining what helps you make your decisions? Because you need to be able to be sure and be able to say no to the things that you don't. How do you go about defining those certain things?
I think for me, actually it came at a later point where you just need to sit down and think about who you want to be and what are the things that design that type of person. Like, what values do you want to base that on? Like, if you want to be a successful person, you know that you have to border around hard work. You know that you have to work with, you know, being someone that's disciplined. If you want to be a good friend, you need to know that, you know, compassion and kindness and, you know, just building good relationships with people is what makes, you know, good friendships. So that's me thought that. Smoking, I know that it's not because I just think, okay, smoking, but I know what the habit does, and you know. So that's me.
I think it's sort of the same for me. That's the first step. but it's also, I realized that I had to learn who I was also, because I've clocked that I was going through life making a lot of decisions without figuring out what I actually wanted and who I was and how they aligned with me. But opening my eyes up to who I am, who I want to be, like you said, really allows you to make decisions that will set you up for like future.
I think for me, it started when I was younger. You know, when your parents are so strict and you don't know why they don't allow you to do certain things. And as you grow up, you're like, oh, maybe mom had a point there. So my shows and my shapos at first started as me trying to be a good kid, doing stuff not because I wanted to do it, but because if I did it, I'd get into trouble. So as I grew up, and now it's more, okay, I do see the value in me not doing that, me not smoking. I do see the value in my mom saying to me, you can't hang out with boys at a certain age. You know, so those things molded me into the type of person that I am today, because later now when I had the freedom to make those decisions, I was like, I look back at my life and those things that my mom made me sharp about, now I see how I'm a valuable person in society because I didn't do these things at an early age. So ke godile, I don't have all this baggage because ke ne ke tswalwa mo ntlong, to give up an example. But now when I decide, okay, I don't want to smoke. Yes, maybe I'm asthmatic, but also, do I really want to smoke? Do I want to be smelling like I came out of, you know?
So real.
And also like just deciding, okay, success. I want to be a successful person. That means I have to study. Even though I don't want to do it, that means there's no other way I'm going to be successful if I don't study or if I don't work hard at whatever it is that I'm doing. So that's, for me, it started from there. And then later now, I was that person that just sees that there was value in what my mom said.
I think also defining your shows and your shapos is such a perfect way to promise yourself you'll do the best for you.
Yeah.
It's the perfect way to guide yourself when you're confused about things, especially when it comes to like, especially as a teenager, as a sky girl, friends. For instance, you don't want to keep a certain group of friends around. Maybe they're not pushing you in the right direction, they're not motivating you, or the relationship is just not very healthy. So I feel like defining your shows and shapos as a sky girl is very important in the fact that you're able to guide yourself, you're able to center yourself, you're also able to manage your relationships, because that just sets boundaries between what you don't want and what you want in.
And what I've noticed is that the things that you need to be sharp about are the things that make you uncool most of the time. So it's okay to be uncool while you grow up, because the things that are making you cool now are gonna make you uncool later in life. So I had to learn quickly that just because you're popular doesn't mean, not that it's always the case, but it doesn't mean that you have to do certain things to be popular. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Stay uncool.
Yeah, especially as a sky girl, when you're a teenager, as much as like we can say popularity doesn't affect us, it does, because you're still trying to fit in with your peers and things like that. I feel like being able to center yourself and see these things right now in high school, in primary, they're not gonna matter in the future. I'm trying to define future me so past me can be proud of her. You know what I'm saying?
Also having the understanding that sometimes people aren't for you, and that's okay. Like, I think when you're so young, you're susceptible to anything, and when you see the crowd following a certain trend, you're like, okay, no, I want to do that, I want to get this. But if you open your eyes to, you know what, I don't want to do that, I don't like to do that, and if people don't like me because of that, that's cool, because at some point the people who will appreciate that about me will come around. If it happens to me next week, next year, 10 years from now, that's cool, it's gonna happen, and I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and also just speaking of like the past and even in the future, the one thing that doesn't change is people trying to define you. And once you know who you want to be and who you are, you're able to stand on that, because trust me guys, whether it's in high school, it's in primary school, whether you're in uni, but obviously it's always good to take, criticism if it's constructive, if it's gonna do well for you. But like, if you don't know who you are, it's gonna be very difficult to navigate that with hello, because you're like, okay, this person wants me to do this, but but if you know what you want, then it's really easy to be like, okay, that sounds like a good idea, but I'll pass.
And even if you don't know what you want, sometimes it's better than to not do anything that you might regret. So if you don't know whether you want to do it or you don't want to, wait.
Kappa, the perfect source for that as a teenage girl, shameless plug, is the Sky Pledge. Hello, like it's literally in every single magazine. You can message us on any social media platform. We'll get back to you. The Sky Pledge, there's an article actually in issue 37, March, it just came out. Danko, I feel like it's the perfect way. I think it's the perfect way to define your shows and shapos. It's a basic guideline, like kishoka happiness, kishapuka smoking, all of these things that help you define what you are. And then also, I feel like within that, we are talking about how kuskolong, like you face the peer pressures and things like that. It's important for us to build confidence. For me, I find that as I define my shows and shapos, I'm more confident in myself. I'm more confident in my decisions. And I wanted to know how you guys came up to that, confidence, because as much as some people diminish Honemo, yes. Diminish content creating. But you need a lot of confidence to do that. You need a lot of confidence to make your way through life and be able to share parts of yourself with people. How did you guys, get into that space, and how do your shows and shapos align with your...
Okay, I'll start. I think back in school, I was a petite girl. I was a tomboy. So naturally, that's almost making me not the coolest girl in the group of girls. I wasn't the prettiest. I wasn't the most confident, if I can say that. But as I kept growing, as I came into teenagehood, I realized that there was a lot of things that I liked that gave me a lot of peace, that gave me a lot of comfort when I was around people. I didn't have the same stresses as my friends had because of what I'd chosen. So I wasn't dating, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking. So obviously on Monday when we're coming to school and people are talking about their weekend, my weekend is, I was at home and then I went to church on Sunday, and everybody's looking at me like, your life is so boring. So I had to really own it and make them see that, no, it's actually not boring. It's actually peaceful. This is what it did. And I was able to study, and this is why I'm able to get these kind of marks. So I was a typical nerd that was just always with my mom, all the time. So because of that, I grew up in a setting where most people felt like, this girl is not even trying. She's not trying. Badly. She's not trying. She doesn't want to be cool. So we're going to let her go. But I liked dancing, and I was very good at it. I think I'm still good now. So that's what made me gain some more confidence in my growing up and as a teenager, because people would see me on stage and then they would celebrate me. But on other things, I wasn't celebrated because they didn't think that was cool. I was also doing a lot of sports, and I was good at that too. So I got my moments of being celebrated. So that gave me the confidence to say, when I'm doing the things that I enjoy, people celebrate me. So better I stick to that and be confident and happy in that space and know that I'm not the girl that's always going to be picked for XYZ, but that's fine. But when it's time to play a sport, I'll be picked first. When it's time to dance, everybody will be like, make sure Tana is on stage. So those things then taught me that it's okay to be different. It's okay to go against the crop. It's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to go to church on Sunday and come back with no stories about a party that you went to during the weekend. So going on that wavelength, it basically just said to me that society is always going to have certain ways of wanting you to live by, but it doesn't mean that's the only way that you should live by. I mean, right now, I'm the oldest here. I'm 32.
You are?
I know. Apparently. I'm 32 in April. Already I'm saying I'm 32. I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
And people still find ways to try and tell me how to do life. But it's like, I've been doing this for 30 years. Okay, maybe give or take 15 years without guidance. I think I'm doing well so far. People will tell you how to behave as a married woman. People will tell you how. It just doesn't stop. But you have to decide, okay, if somebody's going to come at me with this direction, how do I confidently say thanks, but this is the path that I've chosen and I think it's working. I also have this motto that basically says, I'd rather fail because of what I decided than wonder why, if I had tried that, would I have gone somewhere else instead, So that's really how my thinking goes.
I think for me, I had a lot of confidence when I was younger. And I mean when I was 6, 7, younger. And then as I got older, it kind of just faded away. Especially when I got into high school. I think that's when it dropped. Because now my eyes are open to I guess the bigger world of like teenagehood. I was open to social media. I was seeing what people were doing. I mean, before I heard of high school, I didn't even know that. Before I got into high school, I didn't even know that people were smoking. I didn't know that was something that people were doing. And it dropped my confidence because I felt so out of place. I felt so behind. I didn't have my people. I didn't really know myself. And I realized to gain that confidence, because it also took me so long to get into content creation, because I was always so like, what if people don't like my content? You know, what if I only get like 50 like views? What if nobody's vibing with me? What if they don't like it? And I realized that a big part of having confidence is having friends that have confidence in you. In a lot of my friend groups, they were not the healthiest friend groups. They didn't have good dynamics, for me at least. And it took me so long to realize that, until I got into this friend group where now my friends will show up when you call. They'll show up when you're down. They'll be there when you need them. If you're doing something wrong, they're not slow to be like, yo, chill, calm down, it's okay. And that in itself has given me like so much confidence to be like, why wouldn't I do this if Shati can sit here and be like, nah, but you can do it, you know? Why wouldn't I be able to do this if Faith can sit here and be like, nah, you can do it? Like, why do you doubt yourself? So that always helped me. Also, just to remember, like, guys, like, you're just a person. It's okay to mess up. It's okay if you didn't get 100 likes on your TikTok. It's fine. Post again.
How people say, like, don't focus on the like count, because if 100 people were in the room saying, wow, you're so super cool, you'd be so overwhelmed with it. Just be happy with the fact that there's just a few people who are receiving you as you are, because that's what matters. You're trying to find people who engage with you in the most positive way you can.
Because sorry, I was just gonna say, because the more views you get, the more likes you get, the more abuse you're also open up to. So you also need to sort of build the stamina to deal with the people that keep getting added to your social media.
Yeah, at least the more Instagram like. I'm feeling a bit scared about that. I think for me, I might just be different from everyone else. I'm my last born paying.
Me too.
Same. And I happen to be very close with my siblings. So in the beginning, primary, I was literally just always with my siblings until I got to high school, because then my siblings went to uni and all of that. And then, unfortunately, I became a follower. Like, I was really that girl that was always behind the coolest girls. I think those like the early years of high school, Form 1, Form 2, with the cool people. And then I realized there'd be many times where I wanted to speak, like just give my opinion about stuff, but and then I spent a lot of time by myself from there. I really didn't have a lot of friends like Form 3 until I started attracting people that were just like me, that really found, me at that point in life where it was just like, okay, there's really nobody here, it's kind of lonely. And then I realized it wasn't. I was okay now with being a bookworm, because that's what I was. I came from a strict home as well, so it's like, if it's like a party thing on the weekend and I have to sneak out, I am not doing that, because one thing about my mom, so then I was like, I'm just going to be who I actually am. If I'm so I would actually come ka taxi ke tla sekolong, ke tla ke bala novel, ga ke tsena mo sekolong ke make sure gore ke tsenya at the very bottom of my bag, because no one must know I'm trying to read Danielle Steele that morning. I feel like at some point I actually thought I would think of maybe trying to lie about, like, what happened in the weekend. That time we just went to church, right? And then I was just like, this is not freedom, man. I don't want to live like this. I just decided, this is not gonna be me, and I changed. And obviously people had a lot to say about that. And I was just like, you know what, this is me, and if you can't accept it, then it's fine.
I think honestly everything we've said here, Tota, is just really beautiful defining of Sky. I'm glad that we're able to all define our SKYs. I'm glad you guys came in, joined us on the conversation. It's always nice to hear everyone's point of view, every Sky sister's point of view. Behind the scenes, they'll be they like that thing. I'm doing it so we don't get shocked. But I'm grateful that you guys came to join us. My name is Shati.
I'm Coco Faye.
I'm Sparkle.
I'm T.
And you've been watching Off the Clock with Sky.
'Cause I